Hi, welcome to Fabulous Friday. I'm Sally Allen, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm stamping with gas. Today we're going to work on this fun fold card, and it's a little bit different than I've ever done before, and I learned it from Judith Ioverlino in our Why Not Stamp Everything group. And it's really fun and easy and different. I really like it. So you can see here, the card opens up, and this panel right here stays stationary, and then inside you have a 4x4 card. So that's what we're going to work on. Now to make this card, you'll need a piece of cardstock. For the Designer Series paper, the DSP, I've chosen this Expressions in Ink, and this paper is fabulous. I've already used so much of it, I'm going to have to buy another package. I just really love it. I've chosen this piece right here for this card, and I should have checked the back of the package, which I almost always do, and I pulled out Garden Green, and it should have been just Jade. But it turned out okay, and I'll show you some other combinations that I made that turned out really fabulous. So let me put this aside. So this is the sheet that I'm using, the one with the roses on it, and you see the gold on there? And look at the back of this paper. How fun is that? And then I'll show you later that I made some other cards with this sheet. I love this. And it has this kind of vein running down the middle, and then look at the back of this one. I just can see so many beautiful things going on with this package of Designer Series paper. And you know that Stampin' Up! Makes everything so easy to do. And this is already an easy card, so you just need to pick out the colors you want to work with. And today I've picked one of the new in colors, the Polished Pink, and some Pale Papaya. Those are two of the new in colors. So that's what we're going to be working with. So get your cardstock, and you need to cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, which means you'll get 2 of these cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock. And then, I know it's hard to see on here, you're going to score it at 4 1/4 right there so you can see it better, and 5 1/2. Okay, so that's how your card really folds over, and that gives you your stationary panel right there. All right. So for the Pale Papaya, you need to cut, let's see, 4x4, and then a strip that's 1x4, and those will be on the front of our card. For the white cardstock, you need a 4x4 for your center, and just a small strip like this to cut out an oval. Now for the ovals, we're going to be using this double oval punch here, and we'll use both of these, and I'll show you a little trick how to get the scalloped oval out of the Pale Papaya. So just this little strip for the small oval. I'll set that aside. Now out of the DSP, you want a 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and then another little strip that's 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then you want 2 strips out of the Polished Pink, and go ahead and make them 1/4 inch by 4 inches, and I'll show you how to trim those down. All right, so you're going to be amazed. Oh, and ribbon. And I chose the Pale Papaya Open Weave ribbon, and you need about 6 inches and then a piece long enough to make yourselves a bow. Okay, so we've already got the cardstock cut, and so this is the front of our card, and we'll put the Pale Papaya right there on the front of the card. And you can glue it down now, or you can wait until you have the DSP piece done. And I'm not gluing them together, so don't jump ahead and go ahead and put your DSP right on the pale papaya because we need to put the little strips first. So I'll go ahead and put that there, and then go ahead and put my little strip down the side here. Okay, so now on the DSP, you can figure out how you like it best. If you have flowers that are directional, make sure they're going in the right direction. And I think I want mine this way because I want these pink flowers to show and have a little bit of contrast with the pale papaya. So on here, I'm just going to put a little bit of my liquid glue, and I don't even really need to go all the way to the end. And here is a great way to use your grid paper or any kind of grid work surface. So line up your DSP on, it doesn't matter where, on your grid, and get this about where you want it to go, and remember your 2/3 rule. So I'll put mine here. I'm going to line it up on this end and then let it hang over on this end. So now I know my little strip is going straight across because I've used that grid instead of just eyeing it. Because sometimes when I eye it and I think it's straight and then I sit back and look at my card and it isn't very straight. So I've glued up this piece, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Line it up with that grid line all the way across. I'll nudge this side up just a tad. Okay, so that's how your grid paper can really work for you. Now, instead of trying to get those pieces exactly the same length as my DSP, oops, I went and hit my camera. I'm just going to flip this over and cut them off with my snips. Like so. Alright, so now I've got those 2 strips on there, and they're perfectly straight because I've used my grid paper to line them up. Okay, so now I can go ahead and put glue on my designer series paper, and I want the strips down at the bottom. Like so. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this strip and glue it right there. Can you believe we're almost done with this card? It's so fast and simple, and I just think it's a stunning card. I'm turning this around because I want, my bow is going to be pale papaya, so I kind of want it up at the top and let the pink show down here. Alright, so now for our ribbon, I'm just going to open up my card, and now I have glue on here. Let me just get a scrap piece and lay it right there so it quits bothering me. Oops. And I'm going to use some Stamp and Seal. Maybe. Right there. And right there. And again, you can use your grid line to line them up if you like, to make sure you kind of have it in there straight. So fold it over. Fold it over. Now I'm going to add some glue, and I don't need a whole bunch. You could use more Stamp and Seal. I'm a liquid glue. Always have been, probably always will be. So now I'm going to fold my card and let that glue dry. I'm just going to squeak this over just a tad. Now you've seen my little alligator clips before, and I'm just going to clip it down like so for a few minutes until that glue takes hold, and just set that aside. Now we'll go ahead and work on our greeting. So this little white strip we'll use to cut out this small oval. And I forgot the most important thing when before I glued down my pale papaya, I was going to go ahead and have you cut out the bigger scalloped circle out of it because it won't show because the DSP is on top, and then I went ahead and glued it down anyway. So I got ahead of myself, so hang on just a minute while I grab a scrap of pale papaya for that big oval. Alright, here we go. So the oval is at the top, so it's easy to go ahead and just cut out an oval. And I could have done that, like I said, out of the piece I had there, and I got ahead of myself. So let's see if you remember that. It's probably easier if I show you rather than tell you. So there's my oval, and now I need to pick a greeting. And as part of the Artistically Inked suite, the Artistically Inked stamp set is gorgeous as well. And I've played with this and used some alcohol and sprayed some water and done different things, and it's just so pretty. I really like it. And then you also have the artistic dies. Now I keep mine together if they're exclusive to this set. If it's something more that it can be used with everything, then I keep it in a case of its own. But this set goes together. So look at these dies. I just love them. So I can't wait to show you some more things made with this suite. So you can use, it has to be a greeting that's going to fit inside, so you can kind of tell if that's going to fit. The Best Wishes fits. Obviously these two don't fit. There's also a stamp set that you could get from Celebration, and it was called A Touch of Ink. And I hung on to mine, even though at Celebration they retire, because the greetings are so small. So I've got Hello Friend. Well, let's look on here. I've got Best Wishes, Thank You So Much, Thinking of You, Hello Friend, Love and Hope. So it's really versatile. And so I'm going to choose a little stamp from this stamp set. So I'm going to choose the Thank You So Much. And again, you can, sometimes I leave a little scrap like this. So when I'm looking for something, I can hold it over and make sure it fits in that circle. So let me grab a block and my pale papaya ink. Put that back over the glue. All right. Oops. And there's my greeting. Thank you so much. Oh, and I have ink on my hands. So out come the baby wipes, because otherwise I'll touch something and ruin it. Okay. So let me get the ink out of the way. Now the reason I like to use a scrap for my small oval is this. If I were to put it on a larger piece of paper, I'm going to, waste this part because this is going to punch out too. When I have a strip, I can just stick it in the bottom like this, get it lined up, and then punch. So that's kind of a little tip for you to use the dual punches like this when you don't want that one. I already had this one, so I just wanted the white. I'm going to go ahead and glue down my greeting. If I have glue. I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I know that my glue is probably set on here. And I'm going to go back and add my bow. And you can put the bow wherever you want it. If you want it in the center, I kind of like mine up at the top a little bit because then it balances out my little greeting. I hate this when I touch it and it kind of gets off. Alright, so let me grab some mini glue dots. So that's how I'm going to... Now I've done this before. I've shown you how to put a little piece of string here so that you don't ruin some of the dots. I tied mine a little bit too tight. So there, now my dot is showing. Oops, can you see that? It's kind of hard. When I want it to shine, it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to lay down my ribbon and pick up a glue dot, and then I need a couple more. One in the middle, and one more. Okay, so now I'm going to position my bow right about there. All right, can you believe we're almost finished? That's how fast this card is. So now I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Oops, I grabbed too many. And to pop up my little greeting. And put that like so. And now I'm down to where I'm going to do the inside of my card. It's a thank you card, so I don't need a greeting on the inside. If I had one that was appropriate, I could use it, but I'm just going to glue down the inside of my card. Ooh, if I can open it. All right, and we're finished. We have a complete card. So this is a beautiful thank you card for someone. Here's the green one. I really like the pale papaya. I think that's my favorite. Well, not my favorite. But let me show you. I did some with the pink and the gold. And we also have this year this gold shimmer ribbon, which paired really nicely with our gold paper and the DSP. I just really love the way this turned out. And here's another one, same thing, but it says hello friend. And then when I was learning to make this, we used the hand-penned DSP, and the colors that were chosen were the cinnamon cider and mint macaron, and a little black. And I like the way the black brings out the little black lines in here. So that's another version of this card. I hope you have a lot of fun making this card. Thanks for stopping by.